Hey guys, Brian and Aaron here from 5 to Go. We are in the middle of a moving day.
Moving day!
That's our little jingle. You guys might call it a travel day. We are moving from point A to point B. We're going right up the middle of California. And we stopped for lunch. And we wanted to, we've been having a little discussion while we were driving. And we wanted to share some tips with you guys on ways to make moving day
more successful.
Oh, I thought you were going to sing the jingle again.
Oh, moving day!
There we go. How to make moving day more fun, more successful, everybody happy, and you get from point A to point B in a good frame of mind. All right, so Aaron's going to start getting lunch together. And while we're here, the first thing I wanted to talk about is some people have what they call a 222 or a 333 rule. Really what that means is they like to travel for less than 200 miles or 300 miles, stay for a minimum of 2 nights or 3 nights, and also make sure to arrive before 2 or 3 p.m. I like some of those rules in some capacity. We don't really adhere to any of those. We do 100% try to arrive before dark. That's kind of a no-brainer. It's just way easier. You're rolling into somewhere that you're probably not familiar with, and it's easier just to be able to see things because it's not dark. So that's where the 2 or 3 p.m. thing comes in. 2 or 300 miles, we try to do that. We fail miserably a lot. Like we did what, 2,500 miles in 4 nights when we went from Florida to Phoenix just to kind of start this year's travel. No, we don't recommend that at all. But if you got to cover ground, if you have to be somewhere by a certain time, then that it is what it is. Like, you can do that. The other one is staying a minimum of 2 or 3 nights. That one I do agree with, especially the minimum of 2. If you are traveling to see things, like if you are going to stop in a place like we're actually not far from Paso Robles right now. If you're stopping there to see something or to hit a couple wineries or something, you're going to need at least 2 nights, because 2 nights in a campground gives you that 1 full day in between those 2 nights. 3 is better because it gives you 2 full days, maybe a whole weekend or something like that. But it is nice to take your time if you want to see something, because if you're just stopping for 1 night, you have the time between you get into the campground, set up and settled, and bedtime to do anything, because the next morning you're not going out and doing something. You might go grab breakfast, but you're not being a tourist or going to see anything, because you got to get your RV ready to move. So minimum of 2 nights is a good rule. So 222, 333, whatever rules you want to set for yourself, expect to break them, but have some realistic expectations and and understand why those rules exist. Brooke, do you like travel days?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I get to watch videos and play games.
You get to watch videos and play games. So that's a good segue into the next point. Do you want to handle this one?
Sure. If you travel with children of any age, make sure that they have something to occupy their time.
Yeah.
I know not everybody is a fan of screen time and that kind of stuff. We kind of have unlimited screen time, mostly on travel days, because it just makes it so much easier for everybody. They watch videos, they play games, they do schoolwork, whatever, and they're not bothering us. And so then Brian can focus on the road, I can focus on helping Brian navigate the road, and we're not getting angry or upset or anything like that. But if you don't do screen time or unlimited screen time, make sure you have activities to keep your children engaged with something that's not bothering you.
Yeah, because what they really want to do while driving down the road is this. They
yes.
want to climb, they want to bounce around, they want to wiggle.
Yeah.
So yeah, have stuff for your kids to do. That's it.
Do you want cheese on your salad?
No.
Okay. Let's just throw this out there real quick. Gas prices are expensive all over, but really expensive in California. And where are we? We're in California. So we're trying as much as we can to mitigate the expense of gas by eating a lot more at home.
Yeah.
Especially on travel days, because we can.
Yeah.
We travel with a refrigerator. We have the generator running because it's very warm here in Central Florida, or in Central California. And so we're going to eat here.
So we didn't have a generator in the travel trailer. So when we stopped for lunch, we weren't able to do like the microwave,
Right.
Or we've used the induction cooktop, and we've used the Instant Pot on these days in the motorhome. because the generator, motorhomes are easy mode, y'all.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole video about how motorhomes are easy mode.
Yes.
But for travel stops, I mean, we didn't have to get out of a truck and get in here. Like,
Nope.
it's a beautiful day outside, but it's really hot. If it had been pouring rain, you don't even have to step outside.
Nope.
Like, it's so easy. So, yeah, so lunch stops are key. Another thing, I like to step outside whenever we stop and just kind of walk around, make sure, you know, no bays have popped open, make sure that our Jeep is still attached, you know, small things like that. But really, it's just good to kind of get your eyes on your entire setup whenever you can, just to make sure. It's going to be a little noisy here. I'm walking by the generator. But everything's attached. All my bays are closed. Everything's still locked. So everything looks good out here for that. So little runarounds are good in the middle of travel days, just to make sure everything's still attached. Also, while we're out here, obviously I'm in a rest stop somewhere in Central California. I'm not exactly sure where we are. But one thing I did not know before we started RVing, because I had never really paid attention to it, is when you stop in a rest stop, if you're towing an RV or driving a motorhome, you're going on the truck side, because you need these big long spaces to be able to stop in. We had always traveled in cars and vans and stuff, so we were always going over on that side. So that's not where you're going to go with an RV. Don't know if you knew that or not, but we didn't know that starting off about almost 5 years ago, so that's just another little tip for you. I have another food-related tip.
Okay.
We are in the middle of our travel day, but we will eventually get to a campground. When we get to that
Hopefully.
campground, and when you get to your next campground, try not to arrive on an empty stomach.
Yeah, because setting up your campground and all that kind of stuff is stressful enough. And if you are hangry on top of that, the fuse is short. And I am quick to be angry if I am already hungry.
Yeah, just because you get to your campground does not mean you're done.
No.
Your travel day is not done.
No.
So plan ahead. Welcome to the driver's seat. Speaking of planning ahead, let's talk about routes and all of that stuff real quick. My current route, I have 190 miles left to go, and Google says it's going to take 3 hours and 8 minutes. That is not true. That is a bold-faced lie. Google is not going to take me that long. When you are punching a route into Google Maps or other services like that, it is using the speed limit on the roads that you're going to be on to calculate how long it's going to take you to get where you're going. I am not going 75 miles an hour. If you're going 75 miles an hour in your RV, you might need to rethink that. Especially here in California, you're actually supposed to go 55 if you're towing something, so it's good to know local laws too. But because I'm only going to be going about 55 miles an hour, that 190 miles is going to take me about 4 hours, not 3 hours and 8 minutes. So make sure to know your route, plan ahead, and know how fast you're going to go, because Google's lying. One thing that we definitely looked for when we were getting an RV, getting this one, and the previous one not so much.
I was going to say, we did it because of the previous rig that we chose this one.
Yeah, what we're talking about is being able to move around inside with the slides closed.
Yes, because you know when we travel, all the slides come in.
Yep.
And
So let me show you from the front.
Yep.
Because you lose a lot of floor space.
Yes.
So coming up in front here, this is all the slides closed. So this big living room slide comes in this far, and Aaron has tons of room to walk around.
Yes. We have access to the bathroom, no problem.
Yep.
The only thing that we can't access, like, come on back here, because everybody's always so curious about this. Like, I can climb over the bed if I need to get something in the back, but we can't really access stuff here. And if stuff's in these drawers and stuff over here, we just can't get to it.
And the bed, actually, this might be another travel tip. Use your bed. Like, this is, that's the drawer from the front, because it makes an unholy noise as we drive down the road. And then, like, the ladder for the bunk up front and just bags and stuff. It's a nice big open surface. It's soft, it's padded, nothing's going to get damaged.
It doesn't move around.
So go ahead and use it.
And we're kind of like safety Nazi-ish. Nobody's ever going to be laying on this bed while we're driving.
No.
Because of physics.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't. We sit in seat belts. We sit in proper seats. We sit where the RV intends us to sit.
And the littles are forward facing. I don't
Yes.
think they're buckled. Yeah, they're not buckled at the moment because we're not moving.
Right.
But yeah, so we have the living room slide here and the bedroom slide there. We just can't get to that back bathroom unless you really want to. But that's one thing to keep in mind. The RV we had before, the living room slide completely blocked off the whole back of the RV. So we
Right.
had to open that to get to the kitchen.
Right.
So-
We could access a bathroom and a bed,
Yeah.
so like Vector would hang out on the bed with the windows open while we ran into Walmart or something.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
we couldn't really do
So this is
anything in the
nice.
living.
And
This is
actually,
nice.
a family we're traveling with, they have a much larger Class A.
They do.
But
Very
with the
nice.
slides in,
They don't have a lot of access
It's-
room.
it's
They have
pretty
to
tight.
kind of like
Yeah.
tightrope walk
Yeah.
in the middle of theirs because they
Yeah.
have opposing slides, and so their slides come in and meet in the middle here, and so they don't have as much room as we do
yeah,
on stopping day or travel days.
right,
instead
they
of moving day.
have way more when they're set up.
Yes, they do. Alrighty, and I'm gonna put these back on because we're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
ready to roll out.
Yeah, so go do that, and I'll show that in a second. We like to secure any cabinets that can open this way. We like to secure. We have these little baby things from when the kids were babies. So I will secure that when I have more than one hand. We also
do it.
put one. There we go. Yep. So we put that one on there. We put one on the fridge to keep it from popping open. I do have locks that I need to screw in. These should work. I just haven't worked up the nerve to drill permanent holes into my fridge yet. But I have the lock for there. That's for the freezer. And I guess the other one would go in between the handles here.
Keep everything.
I will do that eventually. But for now, we do this on the fridge. And then the freezer
Well, because the freezer's
is
a
kind of
drawer,
silly. Yeah.
so it will just release itself while we're driving or making a turn or something. And,
And
pretty annoying.
if I'm super lucky and I forget to lock that and I forget to put the bar up there, this will open as that opens, and the freezer's nice and it just catches everything
catches
that falls
all
out
the
of the
things
fridge.
from the refrigerator.
Ask me how I know. So the bar is here.
It's
Aaron's
just-
kind of staying in the way.
Sorry.
But yeah, we just kind of use a pantry bar, a tension rod.
And this
to
is
keep
easy
that
enough for
closed.
the kids to pull up if they need to get to the bathroom,
Yep.
which is why it works.
Yeah.
So,
You know what we need to do?
what do we need to do?
That is way out of date.
Oh
So
my
this-
gosh, we
this
do
is,
need to update this.
We need to add about, I think, 6 or 7. We need to do that.
We just need to update our map. And if
Yes.
you haven't seen that, it's probably because you're not a road runner. So we'll do that for the road runners.
Okay.
Update our map for our road runners. If you'd like to become a road runner, right here, you can check it out. You get some behind the scenes and get to talk to us a lot. If that's something you're interested
It's
in.
private Discord channels.
Yeah, you get a private Discord
On
channel
our
and
server,
all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we do need to do this because this is incredibly out of date. Walk. Vector, do you go outside? Let's go outside. When you stop, take your pets out if they need to. You know.
He's doing his pre-walk stretch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you walk your cats, walk your cats. But definitely take your dog out because you just never know what's gonna happen down the road, and you know something might happen. You might be stuck in traffic forever, and they might need to go. So, do what you can when you
And
can.
that's one reason we do like rest stops, because they tend to have grass areas. There's a bunch
Yes.
of grass over there. We're actually surrounded by farms, so it's quite pretty here.
Yeah.
When you stop at truck stops and other places like that, it might be kind of hard to find grass.
Right.
So
And Vector doesn't really like the loud noises that all the trucks make, but he's gotten
Yeah.
used to it over the last 4 years.
yeah.
All right, let's go, bud. See you soon.
Welcome to the bathroom. Don't worry, nothing weird's going to happen in here. But I do have a tip. The water pump is your friend on moving days. Our water pump switch is right here. It's only your friend if you have water that you can use on moving day. One of the things we love the most about traveling in an RV is you always have a nice clean bathroom right here with you at all times. So if you get to a rest stop and the bathroom is disgusting, no worries, you got your own. You stop at a truck stop, you know what those bathrooms are like. Unless it's a Buc-ee's, don't go in there. You have a nice bathroom right here. Just make sure that you have water. So your water pump will get the water moving, but it's up to you to put the water in there. So you have a fresh water tank. Make sure you have at least, I would say 5 or 10 gallons. You can buy a little meter that you can put on your hose that will tell you how much water is going through it. Put one of those on your hose, fill up your water tank, 5 or 10 gallons, enough for, enough toilet flushes for a day or two, and you'll be a very happy traveler. So one final tip before we leave you guys for today. Know where you're going to get gas.
Do you want to say that again?
I do.
Okay.
I just kind of
I'm
wow. So one final tip for you guys before we leave you today. Know where you're going to stop and get gas. This is not the size of a car or even an SUV or even a large truck. This is a very large vehicle. So when I need to stop and get gas, I need to make sure that I'm going to fit into and, more importantly, back out of that gas station. So if you're in a gas motorhome like us, good luck. It's really a matter of finding places that you can fit into and, more importantly, get out of.
Yes.
If you are towing an RV with a small, hopefully a smaller RV with a gas engine truck, it's kind of the same thing, but you have a little more maneuverability than we do. If you're in a big diesel pusher or you're pulling with a big diesel truck, you have way more options. You can go to truck stops, you can get a TSD card and get a bunch of discounts at those truck stops. But the nice thing about truck stops is they have truck lanes, which are made for very large trucks. It's very easy to get into and through them. And don't worry, you can absolutely use them.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely. It's not just for truckers. The trick is get your gas and move. Don't sit there and take up a whole lane.
Get your diesel and move.
Get your diesel, yeah. Get your fuel. Get your fossil fuels and move.
Yes. Yes.
So that's it. That's our travel day tips. We need to get back on the road because, like I said earlier, we still have 4 or 5 hours to go.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, and it's hot out, but it's going to be nice where we're going.
Yes, it is.
And if you want to know where we're going, these guys know.
Yep.
This little list going by, they know where we're going. They know exactly where we're going, and some of them are meeting up with us as we spend the next 2 months going up the West Coast.
So exciting.
So if you want to meet up with us, check out the Roadrunners, 5go.com/Roadrunners, and lots of fun perks and behind-the-scenes stuff there. And you get to camp with us, too, if you want to. If you don't want to, it's fine.
It's fine too.
I don't take any offense to that.
No.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.